All right, today's lesson is our first foray into trigonometry, which is the measurement of triangles. And we're going to talk about the tangent ratio first. And we're going to use it to, first of all, we're going to understand what it is, and then we're going to use it to solve problems. Now, the tangent ratio is a trigonometric ratio. So when you see the word ratio, we should be familiar with that. It means fraction, right? And it's a fraction that's going to involve the lengths of the legs of a right triangle. Okay? The lengths of the legs of a right triangle. So the tangent ratio literally means if we pick an angle, say angle A. Now, we never use the right angle. And this only works in right triangles, mind you. We use one of the acute angles, in this case, either A or B. If we use A, then there's three names with angle A for the sides. The opposite side or the opposite leg, the adjacent side or the adjacent leg, and the hypotenuse is always the same. It's always the hypotenuse. But the opposite is opposite the angle, and the adjacent is next to the angle. So the tangent ratio, or the tangent of A, is actually BC over AC. The leg opposite angle A over the leg adjacent to angle A. So another way of saying it is opposite over adjacent. So if I erase these and I tell you, okay, don't look at any of the words except hypotenuse, and we say angle B. Now what's opposite B? AC. What's adjacent to B? BC. So the tangent of B its ratio is AC over BC. So it's just the opposite. It depends on which angle we choose. Now we never choose the right angle. Ever. Okay, so let's find some tangent ratios. It says find tangent of S and tangent of R. Notice that is the abbreviation, but we say tangent. We don't say tan. Drives me nuts. Okay, what's the tangent of S? Well, remember, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So it's a good idea to list the sides. So the hypotenuse is here because it's opposite 90. What's opposite S? 80. So 18 is right next to it, which is adjacent. So opposite over adjacent is 80 over 18. Opposite over adjacent. But that reduces. 2 will go in there 40 times and 9 times. So it's 40 over 9. Now, everything changes except the hypotenuse when we say, what about the tangent of R? Because here's R. So now opposite is 18, and the adjacent is 80. So it's 18 over 80, which is 9 over 40. So that's how those ratios are related. So on these, let's find the tangent of J and the tangent of K. So let's first work on J. Well, the hypotenuse is 40. So that's opposite and adjacent, correct? 24 over 32. That reduces to 3 over 4 because 8 goes into both. But now if I talk about K, the tangent of K is opposites 32 and adjacent's 24. So that's 4/3. Okay, 17 is the hypotenuse. If I take J, opposite is 8, adjacent is 15. So the tangent of J is 8 over 15. The tangent of K then, as you can guess, is 15 over 8. Opposite over adjacent. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we can actually set up an equation and solve it. Say what? Okay, notice we have an equation right here. Tangent of J equals 24 over 32, or tangent of J equals 3/4. And you read this as tangent of the angle J, tangent of the angle K. So you're going to go to your calculator right now, and you're going to go to your mode and make sure it says degrees on it. degree mode. Okay? Now, we are going to set up an equation and solve this. Now, here is our angle 32. That is one of our adjacent angles. 11 is opposite, x is adjacent. So the tangent of the angle, 32 degrees, equals 11 over x. And now you're like, whoa, what just happened? Well, what just happened is we replaced the r and the s up above with 32 degrees. Now, you never want to use your calculator yet. You got to get x by itself. And we've done a lot of these where we know that we have to multiply by the denominator to get rid of the x. So let's do that first. So now we have x times tangent 32 degrees equals 11. How do you undo the times? Well, you divide by the tangent of 32. Tangent of 32 is just a number, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a number, so treat it like a number. So now you can take your calculator and type in 11 divided by tangent 32, close parentheses. You type it straight in, and we get approximately 17.6. So say A is about 17.6, or X, I should say. Isn't that cool? This allows us to do many, many things. All right, let's use 61. 22 is opposite, X is next to it, so there's your adjacent. So tangent of 61 degrees is 22 over x. We got to get x by itself. We multiply both sides by x, and the pattern remains the same. Then you divide by the tangent of 61. So it's 22 divided by tangent 61. And the more problems you do, the easier the algebra gets. So it's about 12.2. Okay, now 4 is actually easier. 56, x is now our opposite, and 13 is our adjacent, so tangent of 56 equals x over 13. Now don't multiply by x. Multiply by the denominator just like we did before. Well, the denominator is 13. So now all I have to do is take 13 times tangent 56, and I have my answer. There's no dividing involved, and it's about 19.3. So that's how we find lengths using the tangent ratio. Now, we can apply this in many different ways. One of them being, we can go out and measure a tree's height by simply finding the distance away from a tree, say 45 feet, and then measuring the angle of elevation. And actually, there's different ways you can measure that angle of elevation. You can create your own with a protractor. It's pretty easy. Well, that's about 59 degrees. Well, if we use this picture, that's 59. Well, h is opposite, and 45 is adjacent. So the tangent of 59 is h over 45. Well, isn't that nice? Again, we can just multiply by 45. We always multiply by the denominator. So 45 tangent 59, and you have the tree's about 74.9 feet tall. And it's stunningly accurate. It's very accurate too. It's not like this is an educated guess. All right, now we got a lamp post, and you're standing 40 inches away at a 70-degree angle to the top. Well, again, that's opposite. This is adjacent. So that's tangent of 70 is h over 40. Just remember, it's opposite over adjacent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. And again, we have a nice 40 tangent 70 problem. And you are about 109.9 inches high. A little better with that would be about 9.2 feet. Probably makes more sense to go feet. Oh, it says nearest inch, so about 110 inches. So we'll go with that too. So tangent, guys, is opposite tangent of an angle. A lot of times we use theta, T-H-E-T-A. Don't freak out. It's a Greek letter. is opposite over adjacent.